Oh, that's bright. Welcome back to The Colonel Does Novus Inceptio, and we are now in version 8.014, so there's been a new update, and this one has been primarily regarding building. The building, there's build mode, which you can hit B to access, and it lets you kind of do a bunch of stuff to build things. So there's been a lot of changes here. Give me 1 second. I had to get my notes. So most of the changes that were in this version surround building. So if you had messed with it before, and we haven't really done much with the building, you can actually there's a new filter here. So if you've played the game and messed around with the building before. It now has a filter here, so you can kind of look at like foundational blocks or floor blocks, roofing options, which is very handy because when you have all of them kind of default list, there's a lot of things that you can choose from. These ones are ones that I've learned. I need to learn more, and to get a lot of the building materials, or at least the recipes for how to build these specific items, you need to find blueprints. And there's still a ton of blueprints that we've not found yet, and we're going to get into that shortly in the next couple of episodes. But for now, for this update, we can now you can select them. So you can do this with, regardless of whether or not you have the materials. You can basically click on it, and we'll go through a building tutorial at some point. But you now have a snap, so you can see the block snap. Before it was very freeform, kind of like this. But now when you're building stuff near a block, and that's actually, I was not able to get that to work before, to stack them. So the snapping is now available. One of the side effects of the update, though, is that if you had previously built stuff, because of the snapping and the way that they, I guess the coordinates on the screen or in the game with how the blocks are placed, if you had built something before, it may kind of look really messed up. And I know that there's some folks that have done a lot of extensive building, and a lot of it has to be redone because the snapping changes kind of the location of where the blocks are placed. So unfortunately, that's a side effect. But again, we're in early alpha, so there's going to be some changes and potentially game-breaking things. But it is all meant to make the game better. So we have snapping now in the building mode. And the other really cool thing, let's hit escape there. So we can, if you hold your right mouse button, you can scoot around to change your viewpoint. One of the things that is now much better, if you're spending a lot of time building, it's a real pain in the butt when it gets from night to day. And right now it is showing as daylight, but we are actually not in daylight. We are in twilight. So, and actually, when you see these things, you see the kind of the blueprint, and you can actually manufacture it based on whether or not you have the materials or not. But we'll get into that. That's just a normal mechanic of the game for building. So yeah, we've got a new snap feature for building. You can salvage parts, so if you built something previously and you wanted to move it or get rid of it, you can actually salvage the materials that you used to build it, and that is something new. This guy here is an idiot. He gets stuck on these, so I think when I plant these, I have to move them over. One of the things that I noticed with the update is that all of my farms that I had planted in the previous episode actually died. I had logged out shortly after doing that episode, and I just kind of built a bunch of these. And when I came back on, they were in a status. So instead of saying like field blueberry quality 15.52 small seedlings, it was saying instead of small seedlings that they were witchered, which I guess means that they've died or withered. So I had to replant all of these, which kind of sucked, but it is what it is. I don't think we had any problem with that with previous versions, so maybe it's just related to the 014 update. Not a big deal. Went around, got some more seeds, and we have these seeds in our inventory now. And one of the new things in this version is that you can now craft seeds. So if you have the actual item and you don't have any seeds left, so in the case of me, I actually went and foraged for some more seeds. I had run out of potato seeds, so the one that I had planted had died. So I had the potatoes. So what you can do, again, I got these from foraging, but you can now go into your crafting menu. There we go. And we go into the farming, and so we got our fertilizer, straw, and compost like we had before. But now for all of the seeds that are in the game, there's 9 of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, there's 9 seeds in the game. I wasn't sure how many there were, but this confirms it. There are 9. And for the strawberry, blueberry, all these guys, there's different counts for the recipes. So for strawberry, you need like 3 strawberry seeds, and you can, 3 strawberries, and you can make a strawberry seed, which makes sense. I mean, you're not going to be able to get viable seeds from every fruit that you have. So 3 to make 1 seed is fine. And I think it's the same recipe for all of the berries. Yep. Garlic seed, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 garlic to make a garlic seed, and I would expect that to be the case for the corn, possibly? Corn or onion, I can't remember which. Must be the corn. So the onion seed is 1, 2, 3, 4. I would assume that the cotton seed is 4 as well. Oh, cotton's 5. I keep messing these guys up. And then the cord is 4. Okay, so if I was to take our potatoes and just autofill, we can make 4 potatoes, craft it, and we should end up with 6. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. It's a different item. So I guess it can't stack. So if you craft it, it gets it with the vegetable. But if you forage or botanize for it, you get just the regular potato seed. Interesting. Okay, so that we have that. That's an awesome update because especially if I have any further issues with these planting, I'm gonna try and harvest some crops here just so I can get some on hand. And so this will probably take a while, especially with the berries. And I can understand why they only have 3 berries, because the berries take like hours to grow. So gotta keep an eye on those. Some of the other things that were changed in the version as part of the upgrade was the recipe for rope now requires just fiber. It does not require threads, so there's not a 2-step process. Before, you had to craft thread, which is made of fiber. So you had to craft the fiber, then the thread, then the rope. So now you can just go from the fiber to the rope, which is great. Saves a lot of time doing the rope. And you can... there were some other enhancements and fixes for recipes, some other recipes, and obviously the build mode stuff. I'm not going to get too far into what's in the build mode, because we haven't really covered that in my series yet. So I'm going to link down, obviously, to the announcement below, so you can check out all of the updates that were part of 014. And, oh, you know what? There was one more thing. So before, like nails and things, when you craft them, you actually get 5 nails for 1 metal ingot, which makes a ton of sense, right? But you didn't know that, so I was kind of wondering, if I'm doing a 1-for-1. So now the tooltip does say that during production, produce 5 pieces of this item from 1 resource. I'm assuming that that's going to get there's going to be a different notifier or something, just to kind of indicate that you get 5 for 1. But at least there's a little note in the tooltip. I think it happens with some other things as well, but we haven't gotten around to crafting those yet, so not a big deal. But good to know that regardless. So I think that covers most of the major things that were part of this update. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them below. And until next episode, when we're going to try and delve into some more of the things that are in the game, please do take care.